Another example is, I'm taking off. Sorry, 3, 2, 1. Hola! Are you ready to start speaking like a native English speaker? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm teacher Kim from AIA, and today we are learning not basic verbs, but phrasal verbs. All right, let's get started. Come up with.
Man, where do you come up with this stuff? I'm trying to come up with a plan.
Come up with. Instead of saying she found a solution to the problem, you can say she came up with a solution to the problem. Come up with means to think of an idea or solution. For example, she came up with a brilliant plan.
Man, where do you come up with this stuff? Man, where do you come up with this stuff? I'm trying to come up with a plan. I'm trying to come up with a plan.
Fix up.
I will fix up the building.
You told me to fix up the place.
Fix up. Instead of saying I repaired the broken chair, you can say I fixed up the broken chair. To fix up something means to improve something so it works or appears better. For example, you could say, we need to fix up the old house, or I fixed up my old car so my daughter can drive it.
I will fix up the building. I will fix up the building.
You told me to fix up the place. You told me to fix up the place.
Te quería mencionar que acabo de terminar un nuevo entrenamiento 100% gratis para enseñarte 7 trucos para aprender inglés más rápido, para hablar más fluido. Ahora mismo puedes bajarlo con el enlace pegado en el primer comentario.
Roll out.
We'll roll out the new campaign by the end of the week.
Roll out. Rather than saying they started introducing the product, you could say they rolled out the product. The phrasal verb roll out means to introduce or start something new. It's important to note that this phrasal verb is used when talking about products or services, usually from a business. Another example is the company will roll out a new product this month.
We'll roll out the new campaign by the end of the week. We'll roll out the new campaign by the end of the week.
Go over.
Now let us go over the details.
Let's go over the first name on the list.
Go over. Instead of saying we talked about the proposal, you could say we went over the proposal. To go over something means to examine something in a careful way, or to talk about something in a detailed way. This phrasal verb can be used anywhere, but it's usually used in office settings or classrooms. For example, right now, I am going over phrasal verbs with you all. Another example is, let's go over the key points.
Now let us go over the details. Now let us go over the details.
Let's go over the first name on the list. Let's go over the first name on the list.
Call off.
We gotta call off the engagement.
She's gonna call off the wedding.
Call off. So you want to say, we did not continue the project. Another way to say it is, we called off the project. To call off something means to cancel an event or activity. To use it in a sentence, you could say, they had to call off the game due to rain.
We gotta call off the engagement. We gotta call off the engagement.
She's gonna call off the wedding. She's gonna call off the wedding.
Finish up.
Come on, finish up.
I'm sorry, I just had to finish up.
Finish up. Rather than saying she completed the assignment, you could say she finished up the assignment. To finish up means to complete something. For example, I'll finish up the report by tomorrow.
Come on, finish up. Come on, finish up.
I'm sorry, I just had to finish up. I'm sorry, I just had to finish up.
Clear out.
You need to clear out your desk.
Clear out. Another way of saying we cleaned the garage is we cleared out the garage. To clear out means to remove items that are not needed from a space. To use this in a sentence, you could say, before we move out, we need to clear out the apartment.
You need to clear out your desk. You need to clear out your desk.
Remember to pause to practice, and if you have any questions, make sure to comment them below. All right, let's continue. Tidy up.
I'll just tidy up.
I'm just trying to tidy up.
Tidy up. Instead of saying they cleaned the entire house, you could say they tidied up the entire house. To tidy up means to make a place neat and organized. For example, a mom might tell their child, please tidy up your room.
I'll just tidy up. I'll just tidy up.
I'm just trying to tidy up. I'm just trying to tidy up.
Run into.
I did run into Annie again.
Who'd you run into?
Run into. Rather than saying, I met my old neighbor yesterday, you could say, I ran into my old neighbor yesterday. To run into someone means to meet them unexpectedly. To use this in a sentence, you could say, I ran into my old teacher at the mall.
I did run into Annie again. I did run into Annie again.
Who'd you run into? Who'd you run into?
Take off.
I'll have to take off soon.
Take off. You can say the plane left early, or you can say the plane took off early. When something or someone takes off, that means it or they departed or left quickly. For example, the rocket will take off soon. Or if you're talking about a person, oh, she took off an hour ago.
I'll have to take off soon. I'll have to take off soon.
Take off. Another way of using the phrasal verb take off is using it to refer to something being removed. For instance, instead of saying, please remove your shoes, you could simply say, please take off your shoes. This is often used to describe removing clothes or accessories. To use it in another sentence, you could say, you should take off your jacket. Another example is, I'm taking off my earrings.
You know I'm gonna take off. You know I'm gonna take off.
Take off your shoes. Take off your shoes.
Turn down.
I can't turn down free money.
I wouldn't turn down the offer.
Turn down. A more conversational way of saying she did not accept the job offer is she turned down the job offer. To turn down something or someone means to not accept something. For example, your friend tells you, I asked this girl if she wanted to go on a date with me. She turned me down. In that context, the girl did not accept his offer to go on a date.
I can't turn down free money. I can't turn down free money.
I wouldn't turn down the offer. I wouldn't turn down the offer.
Slip into.
He's able to slip into the house.
I thought we would slip into a room.
Slip into. Instead of saying we entered the room quietly, you can say we slipped into the room quietly. To slip into somewhere means to enter quietly or unnoticed. To use it in another sentence, you could say he slipped into the room without anyone noticing.
He's able to slip into the house. He's able to slip into the house.
I thought we would slip into a room. I thought we would slip into a room.
Burst into.
He burst into the room. He just burst into my house.
Burst into. Rather than saying my brothers usually enter my room without knocking, you could say my brothers usually burst into my room. To burst into a place means to enter suddenly with force. It's usually not polite to burst into places, but sometimes people do this if they need to communicate urgently. For example, he just burst into the meeting room to tell us the news.
He burst into the room. He burst into the room.
He just burst into my house. He just burst into my house.
Wrap up.
Now I'd like to wrap up. I reckon things will wrap up soon.
Wrap up. Another way of saying I finished my work on time is to say I wrapped up my work on time. To wrap up something means to finish or complete something. To use it in another example, we wrapped up the project last week.
Now I'd like to wrap up. Now I'd like to wrap up.
I reckon things will wrap up soon. I reckon things will wrap up soon.
Well, that's it for today's lesson. We've covered phrasal verbs. Remember to practice these phrasal verbs because practice makes perfect. Oh, and if you enjoyed this video, please like or share it. If you have any questions about this lesson or have any ideas on what you'd like us to teach next time, please leave us a comment below. And of course, if you want to keep learning with us, hit the subscribe button and be sure to turn on notifications. Also, be sure to check out our other free videos and courses that can help take your English skills to the next level. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you in the next video. Adios.